Hello everyone, we hope you're all having a wonderful day and are ready to join for our presentation. Before we begin, we want to express our gratitude for this opportunity to present our work for major assignment 2 and the final exam. It's a significant milestone for us and we're eagerly to share what we are developing and learning through this process. So now let us introduce ourselves. So my name is Jovito Francisco Fernando Maya de Aruzu, and this is my college, Alpha is Diandra Arling. Both of us are proud for members of the informatics department, and we've been collaborating to design and present this project. So today we'll be showcase our work, which represent not only a culmination of our academic, but also dedication to solving real-world problems through technology. We believe this project has helping us grow as students, innovations, and future professionals in our field. So we hope you'll find our presentation informative, engaging, and reflective the hard work and effort we put in. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and let's begin. So our project is about design and library management systems. So here we cover the following: the first is system requirements, and use case diagram, and class diagram, and activity diagrams. So as you know, like a library management system is a software built to handle the primary housekeeping functions of libraries really of library management system to manage asset collections as well as relationship with their members. Library management systems help libraries keep track of the books and their checkout as well as the member subscription and profiles. So the library management system also involves maintaining the database for entering new books and recording books that have been borrowed with their respective due books. So you can see that our use case for library management system, this is library and the browsers. So the first is login, and then from the browser you can return book and borrow book. From the login we can manage books like add books, update books, remove books, and search book and view book details. So the library management system use case diagrams provide a visual representation of the key functionality and interaction with the library management system. The diagram illustrates the roles of the librarian and borrower, along with the various actions they can perform with the system. The use case diagram includes essential actions such as logging into the system, returning books, borrowing books, and managing books. The librarian role is responsible for tasks as adding new books, updating books, removing books from the library, searching for books, and viewing book details. On the other hand, the borrower role is involved actions like borrowing books and returning them to the librarian. So the second is class diagram for library management system. So here they have a book format and book status, and then you can see from the library and then book item, catalog, notifications, and the author books, and then the last is book lending, like quotation of the date of book, and then the member. So this is a class diagram. So here the main class of our library management system. Next from the librarian, the explanations from the librarians represent the central entity for the library management systems. It contains attributes like name to identify the library and address to describe its locations. And from the book, it represents the primary entity in the system. Its book has attributes like ISBN, title, subject, publisher, language, and number of pages. And the book item, account, library card, book reservations, book lending, and then author, and then notification. So you can see for our activity diagrams. So here, like the start from the library system, the process begins when the library management system is launched. This could involve interlacing the system components such as the user database, book, and a notification module. And then users are present with the login page to authenticate their identity. And after that, user log into the systems, like user providing credentials, username and password, and then the system verify the credential against the database successful login or failed login. And then after that, the decision is user and admin. Like once logging in, the system determines whether the user is an administrator, or regular library member. Like admin flow, the admin is redirected to the admin panel where they have elevated privilege. So after that, you member flow, and then user search for books. Like the member search, the catalog user very filters as a title, author, subject, and publication date. The system right away display a list of result mentions of the query. And then the system is book available. After the search result, the system check the ability status of the requestant's book available. Like the user products to either reserve the book and borrow the book, and then book unavailable. The system notifies to the users that the book is not available and provide options to add the books and recommend similar books. So after the user log out of the systems, and then end activity. So in the end activity, the process concludes and the system transitions to idle state, waiting for the next user interactions. So the last for our use case is domain model. So here we use PonyORM to design our domain model. So here we can see like book, search history, member, and the report. So you can see like in the relationship for book to search history, a book can be linked to multiple search history records, and then its search history records links a specific book searched by a member. And after this search history to member, a member can have multiple search history records, and then its search history record is associated with a specific member. And then after the member to report, so a member can generate multiple reports, and then each member is linked to one specific member. So and then after report to member, like a report is associated with one number, and then each report provides information or analysis about the associated member. And after that, like search history to report. So a report may summarize data from multiple search history records, and then each search history record can be referenced in one or more reports. So this explanation for our domain model. And then the last is like for our entity relationship diagram for library management systems. So the same like in domain model, like in the entity relationship diagram, the first book, search history, member, and report. So for the search history, like they have a summarizes to report. Like for our entity, like the book is like a primary key, and the attribute name is admin, and the relationship is like search history is like reference search history. And the for history, you can see a primary key attribute, and then for any key is a member reference to member, and the book reference to book. For the relationship is book to search history. A book can have multiple search history associated with it, and then its search history record reference a specific book. And then search history to a member, like a member can create multiple search history records, and then its search history record belongs to one member, as I said before in the domain model. So after this, a member to report, a member can generate multiple reports, and then each report is linked to a single member. And then the last is report search history. A report can summarize multiple search history, and the search history can be referenced in one or more report. So this my explanation about our use case. So for our application, so I'll be give to my friend to explain about this.
Okay, thank you so much, Yufi. Now I will explain the code of our project of the application of library management. Now, in this case, this is actually like a more simplified version of our project. It does everything that is needed, such as like mentioned before, such as adding new books, creating new member, creating new reports, and also looking at the search history. So the main component of the code is that first, the database setup. We use PonyORM to define models and interact with an SQL database. The models are books, which is represented in a book library with a name associated with search histories, member that represents a library member with a name associated report and search histories, search history which tracks which member searched for which book on a specific date, and report which represent a report associated with the member. The database is bound to an SQLite file, which is library.db, and tables are generated automatically, as you can see here. Classes are here and what is associated with, and also we use PonyORM because we use like the also the database is bound to an SQLite file again, and the initial data is that insert initial data, which ensure the initial data is inserted into the database if it is empty. And then the application structure is that library app class is the main application and handles startup progress, and which is like the initials the main window with a title, and then display the login form, which we have a login screen which the user are required to log in order to use the applications, and also validates the login credential. And then on successful login, the user will be transferred into the main window. If it's unsuccessful, an alert message will play which says that the username is incorrect or the password is incorrect. And then the main content of the book, if I can find it, which is right over here, the main content is I think down here. Yeah, this is the deposition right here, and then like everything. This is like the art report, daily report. This is like a lot of the functions of the created, and this is like the main function of the app. This is actually inside of the app, so basically like each functions of the buttons and everything is in here. And then the main content, of course, is that after the main page is that after we log in, it is displayed providing management tools for the books, which like the main like here, this is the login, and then it creates the main content to see the book section, the member sections, the report sections, the search history section, and then the table displaying existing records and buttons for adding or deleted entries. We can also do a CRUD operations where we can create, read, and update or delete functionality for each entity, which we can add a new object to the new data and insert it to the database. We can also delete the previous data from the database. And then forms use Toga widgets that like text input, selection button, and table. Data loading, which is like the data for tables. Reports search is loaded dynamically from the database using load data. Database transition. All database operations are wrapped in DB sessions to manage transition and ensure data integrity, which is like right here, the DB sessions, which of course manage transition and ensure data integrity. So, and then the UI components is we use Toga widgets, which is what we use is the box for layout, label for display text input to input the text, and also password input to import our password and username, button, table, selection, which like a drop down menu for selecting options, and navigations, which is transition between views. And then I'll just show you the program flow of our code, which is like a more simplified version of the library management system. When we run it, the login page will be open. So if, for example, we input the wrong name, for example, we just search random name and then random password, an alert message will be displayed saying login failed. So we have to put the correct user, which in this case, the correct user is admin and the password is password. And when we input that, it will say login successful. Once we do that, this is the main application, which actually, as you can see, there is the book section, member section, report section, and search history section. In this book section, we can add new book or delete new book. For example, we can add new book. For example, let's call it programming. And then when we add the new book, it will be shown here, programming. Or we can delete the previous book, which we have to select it first, and we can delete it. Once it is, we'll press delete, of course it's deleted. Every function also works for member as well. We can add new members, like example here, and then we can also delete old members, which is right here. And then again, we can add new report. For example, let's just say Bobby borrowed a book, and then we can just add report. And once we do that, the report will be added to the thing, to the page. Excuse me here. Let me run the page. So basically it will be added here, right? And then we can also delete the report as well, which, yeah, as you can see, is empty. And then for the search history, we can also add new search history. For example, if let's just say Jofi borrowed the book Cybersecurity on, let's just say 2025 01 02, and we can add search history, and it's actually shown right here that Jofi can borrow the books he searched cybersecurity on the date on this date, which again, this for different sections. This is application for our project TB